Sanctified Bone can go in chest armor, and that's a little bit of chaos. Okay, and that's 4 purified salt. Okay. Alright. 2x scaled hide gets you to 98% armor absorption if you find that stat in your armor rating. Let's see. In any case, this character does not have really any notable reputation merchants opened up. I could log on to an old character, go to a merchant, buy some more stuff, use the bank to transfer to this one, and then do it possibly. I don't wish to do that right now, but just doing that right there considerably increased our worst defenses. So that helps. And let's head back to the portal. If energy regen is a function of max energy, does reserving it nerf your regen? I don't think so, because your maximum energy is still the same. It's just some of it is in use. I can't say that with 100% certainty, but I would not think so. Alright, that little dark spot over there, I want to go check that. I'm worried that I missed something there. Okay, doesn't look like it. Alright, I'll have to get in the habit of spamming entangling roots on enemies going forward. Whoa! That almost one-shot me. I just hit a potion. I'm hiding around the wall. Oh my god. What the heck? Oh my god, potion, please come off cooldown. Oh my god, he died. Yo, that was terrifying. Like, I first entered into that fight, and it was just like, blam, Glock to the head. It's like, what? Action RPGs are not supposed to have jump scares. New waypoint. So like I said, the Wind Devils, just coming into contact with them is an electric dot, and it's constantly refreshing. So the changes I made to my skill points should result in more consistent damage going out. Like my low-end damage should be much higher than it was. We're still going to have burst moments when the Primal Spirit is out, but my low-end damage should be a lot higher. Spring of Shadow. As I bathed in the sacred waters of Ulo, I discovered the body of a young deer. It rested at the edge of the pool, not a mark anywhere on its body, its tongue barely an inch from the water, as if it had just dropped dead as it came to drink. I performed the rites of cleansing and tracked the fawn's path to see if I could find what killed her. I am finding more small dead animals near Ulo's sacred waters. Birds and mice, lizards and insects, all small creatures dead without cause. I removed their bodies from the water's edge before rot could contaminate them and performed the rites of cleansing. But something fouled the air. I cannot pinpoint the cause. Like a corpse trapped beneath a fallen tree, the stink is all around, but no sign of the source. I catch scent of it on the breeze, followed the wind, and then lose it. It has been a week and believe I found the fawn's mother. The dead deer rested in a nearby clearing. Again, no marks to indicate what killed her. The grass around the body appears to be dying, even though we are in the season of bloom. 12 winters tending to Ulo's sacred waters, and never have I seen so much death and decay befouling this pristine place. The water is not poisoned. I have drunk from it and bathed within its cleansing pools many times. And yet, nearby trees wither and blacken. I fear some great evil corrupts the land, like a shadow that sweeps across the land, darkening all that it touches, but it keeps its presence well hidden. No matter how many days I search, I cannot find the source. I should warn the chieftain, but I cannot come to her empty-handed. I will perform the prayers to Ulo, and then continue my search. Who was that? Curry! Thank you, Curry!
I can recognize a kindred spirit when I see one.
Lowlander out here. Well, now I've seen everything. Do I need to ready my weapons, or are you here in peace? Speak. I'm not here to cause trouble. I suppose you wouldn't have made it past Kernhold if you were. Do not stray too far north, Lowlander. The Bloodbound have a firm grip on these lands, and the wastes they inhabit are not hospitable. The Bloodbound? There are traitors devoted only to their dark god. They cover themselves with debased symbols and raid our lands not for conquest, but for every last drop of blood. Don't hesitate for a moment if you spot one. If your heart still beats in your chest, they will claim you for their basins. What are you doing out here? I'm tracking a dangerous beast, a hipporaven, which has been causing trouble for local farmers. It is no concern for visitors. Can I help? You wish to hunt? Who am I to deny a kindred spirit? I think we've been looking in the wrong places. Most hipporavens nest in the cliffs, far out of reach, but I suspect our quarry is different. We call it Evernight due to its vibrant violet plumage and tendency to hunt only at night. Ulo's springs are an ideal hiding place. Hipporavens frequent the area to hunt, and the hot springs mask Evernight's scent. But I suspect the beast is hiding somewhere to the north, maybe in a valley not easily reached. I intend to search the spring for clues. If you wish to join the hunt, then you will need a sample of my bait. It is an irresistible haunch of boar soaked in sheep's blood. If you find Evernight's nesting ground, it will be a perfect lure. Okay. Tasty. Not to alarm you, but you're being chased by a tornado. It's okay, he's my friend. I wonder if the movement reductions stack. I just realized that both the tornadoes and also the roots have movement reductions. I wonder if it uses like them added together or just whichever one's better. Dreams of Ruin. Moonsong Day 19. Thrice the same dream has haunted my sleep. The black-eyed raven weeping tears of blood screeches me awake in cold sweat. The spirits are ailing. The land itself weeps through boils of corruption. This we have seen firsthand, but I know not what to do, what the spirits require of me. Day 23. I've spoken with Skald Magwin. Her gentle wisdom has guided me before, though I do not deny her cryptic answers have sometimes left me more frustrated than I was to begin with. I suspect it is her way of nudging me forward to find my own path. None can deny that her years are numbered, and we may soon be left with a terrible emptiness at the hearth. I must do all that I can that her knowledge lives on for all tribes. Day 25, my dreams have become fervent. I know now where I must go. 28. By Mogdrogan, it is worse than I feared. The land does not merely fester as the blood-bound's domain spreads. It renders itself apart in screaming tears. I now know why the spirits cry for aid. Horrors from a place that could not be pour forth from Asterkarn, sapping her of the beauty and leaving naught but desolation. If the land is to heal, then the rift must be sealed. Moonsong Day 33. I made the preparations as the Elder Skald had guided me countless times. I've never dealt with corruption so vile or potent, but the rituals must hold. They must. Hopefully I have not made a grave mistake. Chaos Tear. Oh, it's a zone line. Ulo's Remorse. Ow.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I thought I could only have one batch of roots at a time. I can throw them all over the place. It's good to know.
Can't do that.
That's actually amazing. Because, like, I was just doing this, and they were, like, having a lot of trouble reaching me. Oh, they're behind me. Let's see, my guess is they either don't stack with each other, but stack with other sources of movement slow, but who knows? I have 800 hours in this game, and I learn new stuff constantly. Dude, I feel like that with Total War. Sometimes people ask me a Total War question, and it's the only game where I could possibly be like, oh, yeah, I think it's this, but I've only played 1,800 hours. I'm not certain. Like, it's just, the game is so vast, it makes me feel, like, stupid when people ask me questions that I should know the answer to. This is rough. No, 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 no. Am I dead? I'm dead. Got popped. Considering the place that we were in, I'm guessing... Oh my god, shut up. Considering the location, I'm guessing everything in there was doing chaos damage or ether damage. One of the two. Luckily, I was paranoid, and I put a portal down before I entered the other portal. Is it minus movement speed or reduced movement speed? This is 14% slow target. And the other one is 44% slower target movement. So they do read differently. If that's worth anything. Now that I know that I can spam the root, I wonder if it, like, stacks for damage. Because the roots do damage per second, so I wonder if you're standing in a pile of, you know, 5 roots, I wonder if they're all doing damage.
That skill's not ready.
I actually should, because I'm having to spam the roots way more often. I think I'm going to put those on right click and change a couple key bindings here. Because the roots is like every 2 to 3 seconds I'm casting it. So let's put roots there, and this might take a little time to get used to. And put mortar there. Can I make a new emergency portal? Nope. Wow. I cannot make portals in here. You're going?
Keep it down, or they'll find us.
Ula's mercy, you'll starve me. Keep it down or they'll find us. Who will? You don't understand. This place feeds on emotions and spits them back out as nightmarish fiends. I can normally handle myself with a bit of sorcery, but I feel as if I've been at this for days. My head is bursting and my mind feels like my thoughts are wading through mud. Even paths I thought I made safe one moment are crawling with creatures the next. How'd you end up here? I believed, wrongly it seems, that I had the means to repair one of these chthonic tears. I studied the old runes and know the ancient Kern sealed the void away, but something is different now. As my ritual proceeded, the rift lashed out and consumed more of its surroundings. I was fortunate I did not get torn apart in the process, but I became trapped as a result, fighting off the void's horrors. And now you're here. Did the tear pull you in too? Are we trapped together? I'll clear a safe path. So, oh, there you go. I was like, so what do I do? And then monsters spawned on me. I found the problem. Ah, they're sending dudes. Those homing shots hurt. Okay. The way is clear. I don't know who you are, but you saved my sanity and my life. Thank you. Which way? That way. Okay, neat. I don't know if any of you have ever done this, but there was a combination of skills that it was a simple combination, but I really enjoyed it in Path of Exile 1. And there was a skill called Skitterbots. And it was these 2 tiny, invulnerable little robots. They look kind of like scarabs. And one had a frost aura, and one had a shock aura. And they reserved like half of your mana bar, but they would run at enemies and get those 2 debuffs, chill and shock, on all the enemies they could on the screen. It's just debuffs, they didn't do damage. But there was another thing that was a modifier, it was a pet modifier, that would basically make a summon that you attached it to burn with righteous fire. And it did a massive fire damage to the summon itself and everything around it. But the skitterbots were invulnerable. So if you put it on the skitterbots, the two little bots running around the screen debuffing everything were also doing burn damage. But they couldn't be targeted, so they never burned themselves to death like other things would. And it really only worked in the early game, because it reserved like 70% of your mana bar, and it wasn't feasible to do that late game for the amount of damage you were getting. But it was so fun in the early game, having these two little invulnerable things just run around enemy lines and everything dying, and you didn't even have to touch them. That is kind of how these tornadoes feel right now. They are doing noticeable damage, and they, like, I just got a kite, and they will chip the enemy down, but because they're not true pets, they're not body blocking for me, but it's still quite fun.
Thank you again, stranger.
Are you alright? The headaches and nausea will pass, I hope. Once the world stops spinning, I'll be headed back to Kernhold. That was enough adventuring for a while. You should stop by my stall if you're headed that way. Stay safe. Okay, cool. That's a quest. Ulo's Springs. Alright, we've got a lot of map stuff to sort out. We use the spirit here. And the wind things are definitely better at hitting moving enemies than the mortar was. So investing more power into them feels like the right choice right now. Kind of wish the mortars had like a target priority. Like they'll always hit the farthest away targets first, then they can take out ranged mobs that are often standing still. But they just kind of shoot whatever they want. Storm Totem is good if you like Chain Lightning. I was using it for a while during the leveling process. There was a period of time where I had max points in Storm Totem, and I was, because you can have like 3 of them out, and there was much Chain Lightning. The main thing that was like a detriment to it is it had a very short range. Like, okay, let's pretend I put a Storm Totem there. It could hit as far out as like this, but then it would like bounce between foes, and the bounces could go really far away. But the starting shot could only go like that far away. It was quite short range. One of the things this game gets right is all the damage skills are viable with the right equipment, so you can pick whichever ones you like mechanically. Yeah, agree. Like, I actually was gushing about that yesterday. I was talking about how in Diablo 2, one of my favorite skills was the Druid's Poison Creeper. It was like a little vine that would travel through the ground, kind of like a snake, and come up and hit people and poison them. But it was so weak. It was a level 1 skill, and it was so weak, it was not viable past like level 5, even if you sunk in tons of points into it. But in this game, if there's a level 1 skill you really like, and you just completely build around it, you can use it in endgame, and I appreciate that. I like that. Like, we just started using the roots. That's like a level 4 skill, but it's working really good for me right now. It's like, it just keeps getting the enemies stuck, it's doing damage to them, it's proccing one of the constellation things, and most importantly, it's locking the enemy down. It's a level 4 ability. And I'm 50-something now. Although it's funny, I think that the only... if we add up like all my damage, I'm getting a little bit from Mortar right now. But it's probably like 90% from Shaman, 10% from Demolitionist at the moment. So at the moment, I think the most that I'm getting from Demo is some defensive auras and stuff. Shaman's Locust Swarm is an amazing one-pointer like the Roots. Gotcha. Yeah, I was leveling with that for a while. It does like damage in a line, but then it's like if it hits anything, that target gets hit by a dot. So it's like a wave of bugs that travels forward in a straight line, and then anything touched by it is dotted for a time. I don't know if the dot ticks can proc constellations, but yeah, I'll keep that in mind. I know in some past builds, Occultist has a low-level skill that does like a pentagram-looking thing on the ground that does ticking damage, and I've used that the same way I'm using the Roots now to proc Devotions in some of my past runs. Okay, so for right now, again, because we've got over 200% bonus to electrocution damage, so we are going to put these here. So that just went from top end of 2,500 to 3,100. So that's almost like 600 more damage every 2 seconds around the Wind Devils. Currently I'm playing this co-op, and man, does it scale hard with additional players. Oh man, because of my love for being a support in like buffing teammates and stuff, one of my first thoughts if I were to do this co-op is Occultist, the familiar skill, Mend Flesh. It will automatically have like the pet bird try to heal any friendly target that dips below a certain health percentage. And, you know, it's basically got perfect reflexes, right? So if like a player gets like suddenly chunked below 50%, but they're not dead, the bird will just instantaneously heal them if it's in range. So you could do like a support Occultist with at least some of your skill points if you wish to do so. And I would absolutely try that.
That skill's not ready.
Now, the root thing is also helping the mortar land more shots. We're summoning the backup for this one. Ow. We lost George Bush, resummoning him. That guy hit really hard. Fortunately, I body blocked him with the pets for most of that. Exalted Stash. Lots of breakable things here. Not much money to be found, though.